I've been thinking about showcasing my workbench dash lab area, however you like to call it. I've built this since I'm very interested in DIY and also electronics, and I've always been working at the living room table, stuff like that. And if I did some things that made more of a mess, I did it outside or here in the garage on a simple table. That wasn't a very good solution, but it worked. Last year I decided that I wanted a better space, because earlier that year I went to Dutch Comic Con with my girlfriend, and I got the idea maybe it'd be nice to do something in the area of cosplay or prop making. And I got the idea of making my Tron Legacy Identity Disc, which I've got other videos on this channel. And that really prompted me that I needed a better space to work on. It'd just be easier to do stuff. So I got this idea a while before that already, but that moment really kick-started it to get it done. So I made this with shelving to get everything neatly tucked away and accessible. And the desk itself can be folded down, because this is a garage of like 4 or 5 meters wide in a V shape, and should I ever need some space here, I could fold it down and have easy access to stuff. So the entire thing has been already been changed a bit, because the shelving here was fixed. It was with fixed mounts. I put them on rails so that I'll be able to switch the height. So that, because before, the cases up here which contain some of my tools that I often use, they were flat, and if I needed one of the bottom ones I need to get other stuff, and it was a hassle, so I changed that. And one of the other things I plan on doing is moving these boxes over to the rack behind me, getting a monitor here so that if I'm working on stuff and need to look something up, I can do that, and maybe for some streaming in the future, who knows. I also plan on putting light strips maybe on the bottom of this or here, so I have some better lighting than this IKEA light I have over there. I also have my assortment boxes and my cabinets beside the camera, and they're on French cleat systems, so that I'm able to easily change those. So that's about that. A little bit on the channel. I think that's a good thing to introduce as well. My name is Rick. I'm from the Netherlands, the southern part. I've liked to do electronics and tinker around with stuff and do DIY stuff since I've been a kid. My dad and also my uncle were a great influence in that. My uncle on the electronics bit mostly. And this has always been a passion of mine, and last year I thought, well, it'd be nice to create a website, www.ricor.net, ricor.net, to post things I'm doing, because often I'm doing something and I'm thinking, okay, this might be nice to share with the world, somebody might be interested in this, and maybe I can help someone else with that. With the Identity Disc project, the same thing. That's really the first thing I did on the website. That took me a lot of effort to find out how everything was put together. My inspiration to build Earth Lecture did was only documented with a few pictures, and it was a real big thing to get everything sorted out, how everything was hooked up, and in the end he did help me out a lot. And I thought, well, it'd be nice if I can share that knowledge with someone else who is also interested, and I plan on doing that in the future with other things. Might that be DIY or another prop I might build, I don't know. I like tinkering, I like making. Last few days I've been working in the living room on getting some electrical stuff done in the walls. There weren't any Ethernet connections where the television was, and I wanted that because my set-top box requires it, and I've been using an extension cable running around the living room, not the best thing. So that's been done, and I've documented that. And I plan on documenting other things, and might it be DIY, electronics with prop making, or even repair stuff. I've been thinking about doing more of that. Last year I fixed my parents' amplifier, simple thing of a switch that wasn't working anymore. I like watching Louis Rossmann doing MacBook repairs, and I might start doing something like that, because I think it's really interesting I'm still learning, but I think it's a very nice thing to do, and I just thought I'll just start doing this. Just like Lewis says, don't think about you need this, that, and that. Just start doing it, and that's what I did with this project, and that's what I did with my YouTube channel. I'm just starting. This is by no means professional. I'm not thinking about editing much. That may change in the future. I'm just into doing stuff, making stuff, and if I'm able to share that with someone else and I can make that person happy or get through something easier, well, that's a big win for me. So that's the whole thing about the channel, and the whole thing about me. In daily life, that's maybe nice to say, I'm a network engineer. I grew up in a garden center, so that's two different things, I realize, but yeah, you can see that I think the important thing is do what you like, and that's what I'm doing here, and I hope I'm able to infect others with my enthusiasm. I'll show you a little bit of this bench up close and the bits I have. Just get the camera off the tripod. Oh, a little bit of a shake. So, first off, the way it's mounted. So, if you go underneath, you can see it's mounted on a beam with 3 decent AXA hinges. Maybe a bit over engineering, but I wanted it to be secure. The legs are also hinged, and later on, I'm getting those next week, I hope. I'll get magnets that I can screw on the legs and the plate that will go on the bottom of the desk. The legs are not in the same position on either side so that they don't interfere, and the magnets will be countersunk, the plate will be countersunk into the desk so that the magnets on the legs will sink into the desk and prevent the legs from sagging if I fold it down. And then next up, I've got another identity disc that hasn't been modded. I have 2 of them so that I have backup. My screwdrivers, a little cordless drill, my bins with knives and screwdrivers, some wick, some flux and other soldering stuff, my wires, an old multimeter and some multimeter probes going with my nice EV block multimeter. My bench power supply, simple one, but sufficient for my use. A octal, it's called a helping hand. Very, very useful tool. I recommend everyone have one of those. El Cheapo soldering iron. Fine for now, but I do plan on upgrading to a Hakko FX951, I believe it is, or something. The one that also Louis Rossmann uses. I think it's very nice, and I like the ability to change tips. If I get into this more, I like decent equipment, and that's a cheapo I bought in the past because I wasn't doing much. And of course my soldering tin, some bins with cabling and things that can go into the rack behind me. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but I plan on tidying that up. And I plan on putting a monitor here so that I can look things up easy, maybe do some streaming in the future, who knows, and also get the lighting. Up here is an old air regulator. My dad owned the garden center and it was part of that, so that thing is like 30, 40 years, at least 30 years old, but it's a thing of my youth, and yeah, I like to keep it around as a trinket. I fixed the toolkits, they're really useful. Some bins with screws and assortment things, electrical stuff. I've got my hot air gun that I use for heat shrinking stuff, and also when I'm DIYing. Bit kit, Dremel, cordless drill. I really like this one. It's Metabo, a German brand, and I also have a corded version of that when I do some more heavy duty stuff. So that's about that. I hope you enjoyed this, well, channel introduction / workbench tour. I haven't shown this, I believe. That's the cabinets. So I really hope you have a good day. I hope this has been interesting, and more to come in the future from this workspace. Should you have any questions or comments, please submit them below. And well, until the next video, have a good one. Bye.